Get over here!
Henry, I genuinely believe that the Mortal Kombat theme song, which is written by noted EDM, I mean pre-EDM, they're called the Immortals, Henry. And I believe that song should have been nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Song.
I am completely in agreement with you.
Not only that, I think it should be on the AFI list of the best songs in film history.
I agree. I will tell you right now that I did something at the end of this movie that I very rarely do, and it was very late at night. I watched the entire closing credits all the way through for no reason whatsoever than I wanted to hear the entire mix of that song.
And who could blame you?
And it didn't disappoint.
Did you do it again with Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Because it is a remix.
No. Not nearly as good as the original. Sorry.
You talking about the film or the song?
The song.
Oh, good.
We'll talk about the film.
I have so much to say about these films, Henry.
Yeah.
Henry, I gotta say, let's do it. This is episode number, I don't know, 233. 222, Henry.
Right.
Triple twos. You feel good about that?
I feel real good about that number. Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
I don't know why. it's a kind of an exciting number. It's like it's not 666, but there's something about it.
What did we do did we say when we hit 227 we're going to cover the show 227?
Yeah, that was something we didn't mean, but it was a very good idea.
No, I still think it's a good idea. We should do it.
Yeah, but you just added to my workload this week on an unexpected thing that we won't reveal right now for a bonus ep.
Oh yeah, DB3. Henry, well, I don't care. I'm the D train. No, I'm the D-pad. I came up with that. That's pretty good. The D-pad, Daniel Ehrenberg.
This is Hank Sub-Zero over here. And welcome everybody to the franchise, episode 222. We will be covering the two Mortal Kombat movies. This was patronized to us by
Josh Lemur. Yeah, come on. Don't act like you don't know it. Josh Lemur, a.k.a., I mean, not even in question for one of the top 5. Forget it. He's like in the 3 slot.
No, he is Lemur.
Yeah.
Jay Lee. He's the man, and
he has requested Mortal Kombat, and I was moved. I was moved when he suggested this film, Henry. This is the culmination of all my years.
Yeah.
All I ever wanted to do was be paid to do something I love. And I mean, what in the world do I love more than watching and talking about the Mortal Kombat movies? I gotta tell you, I got drunk every day for about 15 years of my life or whatever, and less than that, and
way less than that.
And I gotta say, these movies came up 75% of those times I've been drunk. All I ever wanted to talk about, I'm so sorry I keep interrupting you, Mortal Kombat and Pokemon were my 2 most frequent topic of drunk conversation.
Which is funny because I remember the Pokemon ones. Remember, I was most likely hammered the same times you were during a lot of these conversations, but I do not remember that many Mortal Kombat. You might have known that I just hadn't seen it, so there was no. But Pokemon, you would.
I assumed any sort of modern pop culture. You probably hung around with Nathaniel and I, and we talk about Pokemon a lot. Mortal Kombat would come up more with others. Let's talk about our histories with MK.
Yeah. All right,
you probably got into the games before me, so why don't you go first?
Well, I remember on my Sega Genesis, I definitely bought Mortal Kombat.
What other games did you own on Sega Genesis? Let's go through them.
Okay, it's going to be hard, man. You're going to test my memory. But, I mean, I remember I definitely loved the Ghostbusters game. That was a big deal.
There was a Ghostbusters game for Sega Genesis?
fucking crazy, man. Yeah, I love that shit. It was really a good game.
They had so many licenses. I had a RoboCop versus Terminator for Sega Genesis.
I remember a RoboCop game, but I feel like that was Nintendo. I don't think I had that. I don't think I could get that. But
Super NES.
yeah, I had a baseball game I used to love called Hardball. This is early '90s.
Keanu Reeves.
That's right. And the big one that was the annual pickup was the Madden football.
Sure.
That was a big one. And I had a lot of combat games on my Sega system, but when I got older and when I got Genesis, I didn't have as many combat games. But when I got Mortal Kombat, and that fucking game was so amazing, I'd never seen anything like it. It's probably around 93, 94.
92.
Yes, but when I was really playing it, it was around that year. So I don't know if it was the original or if I bought two, but one of my favorite things about
Was
that
Reptile
game,
in it?
See, when I was watching the movie, I was trying to remember the various characters, and I was also trying to remember not only who was I most of the time, but who I would have faced. And I had a couple questions for you, which
I'd love to answer all of your questions.
I know you do because you're excited about this, but I'll finish my little anecdote real quick. There were, I had my sister had a ex-boyfriend at the time. And
I like how Henry's bending the truth right now, and so he's just stuttering over every word and involuntarily winking at me.
all right.
Go ahead. You don't need to tell anybody.
Don't give a shit. I had an ex-brother-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. There it is. Yeah, I don't care. He
don't ask me to edit this out at the end of the show. I will fucking sock you.
I won't. I don't care.
Okay.
I really don't. And so sometimes he would learn these things in the games, and basically was kind of a cheater and was really one of these guys who liked to pick on kids. So he was one of those guys who really put you down when you're a teenager.
Well, that's a bully, not necessarily a cheater.
That's correct. He's a bully. So he would find these little secrets in the video games and stuff that I wasn't as into.
That's not cheating, man. That's
story. Can I fucking tell my story?
I'm siding with your brother-in-law so far.
Trying to slam a guy. I don't need you to be not on my side.
Okay.
And it's not been done yet.
Well, we'll see where it goes.
Everyone learns the secrets of the games to win. I'm all for that. The point here was it was like a 30-year-old man beating up on a video game for a 14-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the beauty. Okay. So there were only one or two games where he would do this shit with me, where he'd find an unhittable pitch or a quarterback sneak that was unstoppable.
I think I could guess the games from those clues.
Right. But there was one game that he absolutely started to refuse to play with me because I beat the shit out of him every single time, and that was Mortal fucking Kombat.
All right, who is your guy?
It was so fucking satisfying to beat his ass in Mortal Kombat every single time and just see this grown man get so angry and frustrated. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
All right, I'll side with you. He sounds like a douchebag.
What? Yeah, he was a full-on dick. And anyway, so who was I? I'm trying to remember. These are my questions for you. I'm pretty sure that I liked the persona of Johnny Cage.
Oh, I bet you fucking did. You wish you were Johnny Cage in real life.
Also think, I believe, this is my main question. Could you be Sub-Zero or Scorpion?
Of course
or
you
could.
Henry. No. You might have to earn them. They might be unlockable characters.
That's what I'm asking, because I just couldn't remember, was Mortal Kombat the kind of game where it was set up where you couldn't just be anyone?
By the time the first Mortal Kombat game I ever owned, Henry, was Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was a weird mashup game where they used every character that was in any of the first three games. So there were 30 playable characters. I don't know how it was in the original games.
Okay, because I feel like I was definitely it feels like, if it's not a false memory,
You could have been
that I was
Sub-Zero,
definitely-
man.
Yeah, I really feel like I was Sub-Zero, and I think I might have even been Sonya, because you pick people for their moves too, like their moves.
Sonya
and-
was quick, but you
Yeah.
couldn't. Sonya against like a Goro, you'd get your ass beat.
Well, that was the thing, and I remember the big cheap move in Mortal Kombat that pissed anyone off whenever you got it done to you, but you try to do it whenever you could. Is one of the sweep kicks. You
Oh
swept
yeah,
underneath.
yeah, that was a good one.
It doesn't matter how powerful a
Uppercuts
character
too. You
you're
just
fighting.
duck in front of them and punch.
Yeah. It's a great game, though. It was certainly an amazing fighting game, and especially for the time, I remember it being like nothing else I had really played.
It was
So,
quite
yeah,
incendiary. It was bloody. I played the arcade game a little bit when it came out because there was a roller rink, Henry, in my neighborhood called Hot Skates. And in Hot Skates, there was a little arcade section, okay? And they'd have a few games, and I remember they had Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know if I ever played the original.
All right.
So I remember playing Mortal Kombat 2 there. They also had the Simpsons versus the Space Aliens game where you are beating people with spray paint. And then next to Hot Skates, there was a little other arcade called Fun Station USA. And we would go there and bowl and do laser tag and air hockey, Henry. Okay? And then across the street. Okay? And then across the street from Hot Skates, there was a cemetery, and when I was in 11th grade, I made a short film called 60% Communist, and it featured a character walking across the street from Hot Skates to the cemetery, and in my head, it was a beautiful metaphor for aging.
Hey, you were 16.
What, you don't think that's a brilliant metaphor?
I guess, sure. Hey, it's not like, absolutely. It's brilliant. Yeah. What the fuck does this have to do with anything, by the way?
Oh, that's the first time I played Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay. I tried to tell this amazing, like, coming of age, beating up a bully in a virtual reality atmosphere, and you told me about the rollers, Hot Skates, and a 60% communist.
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
All right. That was for early on siding with my my ex-brother-in-law.
Okay, but then here's what happened.
Okay.
It's 1997. All right? I did not see the original Mortal Kombat movie.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't care. And
I didn't care either.
and I was a kid. Like it didn't interest me. So I went to in 1997, my friend Ryan Keene, who is now a police officer with the NYPD, and he beat me up twice in high school and has anger issues and has a license to hold a gun, and he's an officer of the law.
I recall this name from a previous show.
Yeah. I figure maybe if I say his name enough, they'll take his gun away. Henry, so we were going to see Starship Troopers. That was the plan. I had already seen it once with my father. Loved it. Wanted Ryan to see it. So we get to the theater, and they wouldn't let us see it because it's rated R, Henry.
Yeah. Right. It's bloody.
Yeah, and it's got boobs.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Co-ed showers, baby.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we instead, Ryan Keene is like, look what's playing, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Let's go see that. And then it was short, and we saw The Thin Red Line was playing afterwards, so we decided we were going to sneak into that. I told you that last week. So,
yes.
But Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it was great. We get into the theater, the Lindbrook movie theater, Cineplex Odeon, not there anymore. It's been replaced by Regal. And I went in there, and no one else in the entire theater, Henry. Okay, just me and Ryan Keene. And so what was great about it is it's a sequel. I don't know any of these characters. I never really played the game. I kind of know Sub-Zero and Scorpion because they were popular.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
But So I was just like, he just talked me through the entire fucking movie. And like the second Mortal Kombat movie, the entire movie is just new characters showing up. So like he would just be like, oh, that's Nightwolf. Yeah, he's like a Native American. It was great. And so he walked me through that movie. I got into Mortal Kombat. I bought Mortal Kombat Trilogy for my PlayStation 1. I bought the book, the strategy guide, so that I knew all the codes, Henry. Okay. And loved the game, and then went back and watched the first movie, and the rest is history, Henry. I've seen these movies lots of times.
Okay, all right. So we have obviously a different history, but oddly enough, we do have a history with it. I mean, I don't think it would have been that predictable that I had any of it with it, but you do know that I grew up being a huge fucking video game guy, so I love that shit. And but yeah, I guess when this movie came out, I was probably 16 or 17, and maybe I just didn't care. I don't know why I wouldn't have cared, really. I mean,
I don't know. It was a late August release, Henry. Nothing else was playing. If you didn't feel like going to the theater, you didn't have to go. It was like, I'll skip Mortal Kombat.
And I think
see it in September theaters, prestige releases.
Yeah, and I think I was also already like Pulp Fiction came out the year before, so I was already kind of getting a little bit of better taste in movies, and I think I was probably long past the band, going
better taste.
And as a teen, yes.
I'll take Mortal Kombat over any of those fucking Tarantino ripoffs.
Yeah, I didn't go.
Mortal Kombat's a better movie than Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Better movie than Get Shorty.
That's right. Better movie than
Cool.
Yeah. What are some of the other ones?
Oh, there's so many, dude.
I know, there are.
Oh, by the way, big update for everybody, long-time listeners. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you'll see the big news. No, Henry did not see Fitzcarraldo, but yes, Henry did see Blowout.
Oh, yeah, that's a big blind spot for you, and you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. You know what I thought was a little ironic? The next time you guys get on me for not seeing a movie, you better fucking have given it 5 stars.
Oh, what? Because I gave it 4?
Yeah, that was bullshit. When I saw that, I was like, this motherfucker. Like, there's problems in the movie, but I mean, it is a masterful film.
I probably owe that a 5th star.
You really do. I mean, but I was just kind of amused because I was like, all this fucking hoopla and these motherfuckers didn't even give it 5 stars.
It's just because you're such a De Palma guy, and that to me is like one of the 5 really must-see De Palma movies.
It's really great. Travolta is in top form. He's excellent. I miss how he used to be. Nancy Allen's oddly out of her usual kind of character and really good too. The supporting cast is awesome and everything about it is amazing. The score, it's a typical De Palma movie. It's phenomenal. Very good movie. I don't know how it was out of my radar for so long. So there you go, listeners. You're welcome. And thank you for pushing me to see that. Now, Dan has, I should comment, an awesome backdrop on him right now that I don't think he knows has a special power, which is an incredible bonus for me right now.
Tell me.
Okay. Yeah, he has a backdrop of 8 Mortal Kombat characters. It's great. I told him to keep it. He offered to take it down. But what he didn't know is when he bends back to do something, it's totally green screen for him. So he disappears. You disappear. No, when you go back into the... Yeah, you're gone. Your head and just your torso are showing.
I'm like the brother in Back to the Future.
Yeah, but you're really more like one of the Mortal Kombat scenes. I mean, you can make half but you're going into a porthole. It's a special effect.
I guess so. There's a lot of digital effects in these films.
And the one that you're doing right now is better than all of the ones in Annihilation.
How dare you say that? Okay, can I tell you which characters I was when I used to play?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Okay, yeah. I was always one of 2 characters. And when I first bought Mortal Kombat Trilogy, the first character I wanted to play as was Jax, because he was my favorite character in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, because I liked his sassy black ways. And so I tried to play it as him, but his moves were a little complicated. And I wanted to do the thing where he punches the ground, but I couldn't really get it to work. So I tried again, and here are the two characters I was great as. There's one, Kung Lao. He's not in these movies, but he had a hat with razor blades, and he'd throw his hat and chop you up.
And this is the other one I wanted to ask you about. I know there's characters I played that are just not in these movies. There's
really only a couple. They use so many characters in these movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so, and then the other one I liked was this character, Shiva. And she was...
Yes.
Well, she's in the movie. She's got the four arms.
Yeah.
In the movie, basically, all she does is put her hands on her hips. That's like the one move.
That's the thing. See, I don't remember Liu Kang in the game.
What are you talking about? He would do the bicycle kick, and he made lots of Bruce Lee sound effects. Anytime he did a move, he'd go like, wah!
Where in the video game?
What are you talking about, where in the video game?
Outfit in the video game.
I think he's shirtless, and he's wearing red pants, and maybe a bandana.
Okay. All right. Yeah. See, Johnny Cage, I only remember just because of the fucking. Didn't he wear like jeans or kind of like a?
He wore sunglasses, and everybody loved his classic move, the shadow kick.
And what did that look like? Can you mimic?
Yeah,
that?
he'd do like a flying side kick, right, and then he'd do like flash, like a bunch of different versions of him.
There you go.
He does it to the robot Cyrax in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Okay.
Or, I think it's Cyrax. It could be Spectre. Anyway, Sector. I don't want to say anything wrong because I've really, big up to my Mortal Kombat knowledge. And I feel like people are going to give me shit.
It's all right.
All right, should we get... Oh, so Shiva, the reason I played as that character is because everyone had, special moves and shit. But she had one that I learned about in the strategy guide that was so cheap. And I would use it all the time. Most of the moves on the PlayStation 1, it was like left, right, up, triangle, X, left, down, triangle, and select. I don't know. So she had a move that was just down, up.
Okay.
All you had to do is press down, up. She'd jump in the air, and she'd stomp the shit out of you. And it would take away a third of your health. You would do that 3-4 times in a match. Look, flawless victory.
Well, see, that's the thing, too, is that you played these on a PlayStation. I'm dealing with Genesis, man. I got fucking 3 buttons. That's all. I got a directional 4-way and 3 buttons. So I had to be pretty creative. You put a PlayStation in front of me, that's when I was I'm lost. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's too advanced for you. What?
Way advanced for me, man. I'm not going to... Yeah, way advanced for me. What'd you think I said?
I don't know. You cut out for a second.
Oh, lovely. Like your head keeps cutting out into Sub-Zero's face.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Can we get into the movies? You ready?
I am ready.
All right, Mortal Kombat. Let's do it.
Mortal Kombat.
I mean, the director needs no introduction around these parts.
It's something, man. This guy, Dan has always talked him up to me. I'd seen a couple of his movies. Now we've covered a lot of his movies.
We really have.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something, man. This guy is something else. He is really something else, man. And I miss him in the sequel big time. He is missed. He is a hell of a director.
Listen, it means so much to me to hear you praise the works of Paul W.S. But I will say that he said he hated the second movie and he regretted not at least writing it or producing it or something. And he said that's the reason that he worked on the sequels for Resident Evil, because he didn't want to see that franchise go to shit.
Well, I don't blame him. Yeah, and this is, I think, one of his best films with hands down.
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, hands down.
Well, what else he directed?
My star rating still isn't over the top, but it's a really good W.S.
Because he doesn't make movies for you to feel anything but all you're supposed to think is awesome.
Yeah.
He makes awesome movies.
Yeah, he does. I mean, but we'll see if I might be movable on it. We'll see. Maybe it'll bump up a notch. We'll see what happens.
Okay, so he's our director, of course. Resident Evil films. Event Horizon, which is what he did instead of Annihilation.
Right.
Soldier, Henry. The second best Blade Runner movie. Then you've got, I'm just kidding. And what else he made? Pompeii. I love Pompeii.
See that AVP.
AVP. He didn't do Requiem.
He didn't do Requiem.
No.
But he did Alien versus Predator. If Horizon and the Resident Evil ones, those are for me the ones that I think of right away.
Yeah.
And now this.
Incredible job. And I cannot wait for his new film, Monster Hunter or Monster Killer or something with Mila Jovovich.
I think it's very cool that I mean I might be wrong on this, but I know I'm correct in that he made movies before, only a few years, but before Paul Thomas Anderson. And so this was before he had to put the WS in there.
Yeah, you noticed that, right? He's credited as Paul Anderson in this film.
Fucking P.T. Anderson came along and was like, I'm Paul Thomas Anderson. So this guy's probably like, all right, fine, I'm gonna do Paul.
Whatever,
Anderson.
man. I love it. I love
know.
it. Hollywood has a rule. If you're going to be named Paul Anderson, you better be amazing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, boy, that's 2 for 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to see a third Paul Anderson. Listen, we got to collect the Paul Andersons and see if they're all good at making movies.
If they are, have them work on like a massive fucking franchise or something, just alternating film, just a universe, a Paul Anderson universe.
It's not a bad idea. Do do a contest for the Sonic the Hedgehog sequel or something, and it's like you can only enter if your name is Paul Anderson, and they'll pick the best one. It'll be like Project Greenlight Paul Anderson edition.
Either that's a great idea, or you have Paul W.S. Anderson direct his version of Magnolia, and then you have Paul Thomas Anderson do Mortal Kombat. I want to see it.
No, because, I mean, while that is an incredible idea, Henry.
And there's daddy issues that Paul Thomas
True.
Anderson can in Mortal Kombat. And there's some crazy frogs flying from the sky in Magnolia that WS could make pretty cool.
You could make hay out of that. Listen, I just don't want to see these two great titans of filmmaking competing. I think what you do instead is you have it as a competition of the Paul Andersons of the world, and you have them be the judging panel.
The Paul Andersons of the world. So what? Just anybody named Paul Anderson.
Right.
Just no matter.
It's such a simple name. There's got to be Paul Andersons in Senegal, Brazil, Alabama,
Canada, United States. They're all over the place. Thousands. Maybe 1 million. Who knows, man?
Senegal, Brazil, Alabama. Those are the first 3 places in the world I thought of.
I don't even know where Senegal is. How did you come up with that?
I'm not sure. I'm a very continental man.
You're not. That's the thing. That's what I think. But yeah. Anyway.
All right. WS, of course, did a lot of writing on this movie, but the only credited writer is a fellow by the name of Kevin Droney, and he was a shitty TV writer at the time. After Mortal Kombat, his only other credit is the Wing Commander movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. And so I think his career pretty much ended after that, Henry. Okay, this film was released August 18th, 1995, on a budget of $18 million. And it made $122.1 million at the box office, coming in at number 22 at the American box office, right there between Clint Eastwood's Bridges of Madison County and the impossible-to-watch 9 Months with Hugh Grant.
Ooh, baby. Yeah, I saw that later. That is fucking trash. I saw Bridges of Madison County in theaters. There you go. I was going to see Bridges of Madison County at 17 years old, not Mortal Kombat.
What a fucking nerd.
I was. Get over here.
God, get over here.
That was so good. When he said that shit, I was like, it was so nostalgic. I was like, oh my God.
I know. But they were just like, they knew that would get a big reaction. Because
it's great.
He says it over and over again.
So good. Welcome.
That is, it's the guy who did the voice of Scorpion in the games is like one of the game creators. Yeah, and they just like let him do the voice in these movies. But it's so funny because like everything he says like that. It's just like, get over here. And then he like jumps on top of something. Get down here.
So good. They give Scorpion.
Stop Scorpion fighting me. This is annoying. Why'd you have to kill my little demon guy from my hand?
I'm back in Annihilation inexplicably. There's no reason. How did this happen?
I'm a popular character.
I was killed. At least Sub-Zero was given an explanation. It was his brother. Here I am as an undead zombie. Scorpion.
Well, Scorpion is sort of an undead zombie, isn't he? I feel like that character comes from hell or something.
Well, there's a quick throwaway line that, who is the main villain in the first one? What's his name?
Now, are you referring to Shang Tsung or Kano?
Shang Tsung.
Okay.
Shang Tsung says, Sub-Zero and Scorpion are mortal enemies, but under my sway, they are aligned. So he clearly has them hypnotized.
But I think that's only in the first one, dude.
That's correct. But my point is that both are killed in the first one. Okay? Sub-Zero in a very kind of disappointing quick fight. Scorpion in an awesome fight with Johnny Cage that goes on forever. And they both die. And if Sub-Zero's dead, and then in the second one they say it's his brother, but Scorpion just comes back with no explanation. It's a little strange. But
that brother explanation, surprisingly, is actually from the games.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can believe it too. I mean, it makes sense. It's like Boba Fett or whatever.
And then remember when he like all of a sudden there's like a black ninja for a second? You're like, what the fuck is that guy?
You mean black suited or African ninja?
No, black suited. He's all black, and that's Noob Saibot, bro. And he's like a shadow ghost of the Sub-Zero from the first movie.
I lost you for a second. I'm sorry. Repeat.
I can't. It's too complicated. Let's talk about the movie.
Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot. Okay, this is a New Line release. New Line Cinemas. They were putting out the Friday the 13th movies around this time. They were putting out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films. What a great cinematic company. I lost my will to live for a second.
I was gonna say, I'd say the New Line. Quite a lot to say about New Line. They were pretty massive film. All right, yeah.
Okay, next. The song comes on immediately, by the way, so you're already in, like instantly.
So cool. And that's exactly how it worked on me, because I got to tell you, and for our listeners, I really was expecting a complete piece of shit. I had never seen the movie. It's been 25 years since it was released. I'd never seen even a clip of this thing.
Really?
Nothing, man. And I remembered the game pretty well and loving the game, but in the ensuing years, what I meant to mention was the game that took over the love of my life, as you probably remember, was Soul Calibur 2.
I don't remember that. You were a big Soul Calibur guy?
In the arcade, in college, I was one of the best players, and there were people who would there were always crowds of people in the fucking arcade, but they were always like the leather, like the outcasts, the college outcasts. And so then I'd show up, wait my turn, and everyone kind of like, oh, who's this fucking dude? And I would show up and I would kick ass on Soul Calibur 2, and I loved that fucking game. And I played it with Pod Franchise. The Franchise is our show, I believe.
Yeah.
Aaron Farinelli and me played it once at that Times Square Port Authority bowling alley And he beat my ass all over the... Oh, it was great. Yeah, there was semen everywhere and feces. But he beat my ass with it. But Soul Calibur kind of took over in my mind for a while. So as soon as the opening credits for this movie started and they screamed Mortal Kombat, oh my God, my heart melted. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It all came back to me like in a rush. Every line they were saying, it was just so fun.
But there are so many places the movie could go wrong. And let's talk about all the ways it sidesteps them. So we're introduced to our main character in the film. That's Liu Kang. You got to give New Line 1995 props for having an Asian lead.
I thought about that.
Even though Raiden's supposed to be Asian too, and they cast two white guys.
And I didn't remember that. I mean, I didn't know that, but I completely figured. I was like, what the fuck is Christopher Lambert doing in this role?
Thank you for the proper pronunciation of Mr. Connor McLeod's name.
Yeah, I would never, ever mispronounce the Highlander's name. But yeah, I figured that. And not just that, but in most of the roles, they're ethnically correct. Right? I mean,
I mean, with the exception of Raiden, I don't know how many of the ninjas in the second one were supposed to be Asian, like Katana or whatever.
But I mean, for the most part,
I don't know. For 1995, it ain't bad.
Yes, very. It's not only not bad; it's very, very surprisingly good.
I'm watching fucking Frida. You know the movie Frida? Ashley Judd's in that movie. What the fuck were we doing? It was 2002.
I don't remember. Is she her lesbian lover in that movie?
I'm not up to that part, but she's just like, I am Ashley Judd. Who want to dance with me?
She's playing
Yes!
Oh, I don't remember that. Playing a Mexican,
It's wild. Okay.
I do recall that movie very well, though, because I believe there's a lovely, very touching scene between Ashley Judd and Salma Hayek that I recall.
Oh, well, I'll let you know. I'm only 45 minutes in, and I haven't seen it since 2002.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I remember.
I do remember talking to Edward Norton about this movie, though.
Oh!
Not to name drop or nothing, but he had, written some of it uncredited, and he was talking to me about that.
I think he wrote the whole thing. That's been pretty much revealed. He rewrote the entire thing.
But he didn't want the credit because he thought it would steal Salma's thunder.
Yeah. But she even said it. That's pretty well known, I think. He wrote that movie. I like that movie. It's good. Anyway.
It's not as good as Mortal Kombat.
You're probably right. All right.
All right, so next, Liu Kang has a brother named Chan, and we get a flashback of Chan being murdered by Shang Tsung, and it's all a dream, though. Liu Kang wakes up in this, all green room. Paul W.S. Anderson is so into fucking color gels in this movie.
And, but he loves that stuff. He always uses those hues.
I know. He really does.
They're everywhere, and that's his trade. One of his trademarks, and that's why I know it's him. Right away. It's just like he knows how to light stuff. He has a fucking look, man.
Paul W.S. Anderson. He knows how to light stuff.
He does. I'd let him light my bedroom.
I'd let him light my world on fire, baby. If it's good enough for Mila Jovovich, it's good enough for me, man.
What celebrity is he with? Is he with somebody?
He's married to Mila Jovovich.
That's right. You know what? I cannot get out of my head that she was with Luc Besson for a while, and I just always have her with him in my head.
That not since she was 13, dude.
Yeah. Joan of Arc, right? Messenger?
Yeah, around there.
So she got wise and got with the goods. All right.
That's right. W.S. But who's better, Luc Besson or W.S. Anderson, man? That is wild, though. What's better, Fifth Element or Event Horizon?
Fuck The Fifth Element. I've never been a fan of that movie, like The World, and I'm not a fan of that movie.
What's better, Mortal Kombat or The Professional? What's better?
What? Next.
Wait, what's better, The first Resident Evil or La Femme Nikita.
You know, I never saw the original La Femme Nikita all the way through.
What do you mean you've never seen the original? What, you've only seen fucking Point of No Return?
Oh wait, no. Yeah, who's the guy? The guy in La Femme Nikita is actually a famous. He does American movies too.
I don't remember, but it's somebody.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't think it's that great, to be honest. I remember I saw it a few years ago for the first time, and I remember kind of thinking, "What's the fuss? It's not that great."
I like all those movies, man. I'm a Nikita head.
I like the idea of the movie, and I like Point of No Return, even though it's trash.
I think Point of No Return is great.
Yeah, it's totally fun. I love Gabriel Byrne. I love Bridget Fonda.
And Dermot.
Yeah, of course. But I do remember when I watched La Femme Nikita finally, probably 5-6 years ago, that I was a little disappointed. Maybe just too much hype on this thing, and it was just kind of a subtle letdown. But anyway.
It rules. Okay, the scene in the restaurant rules. Okay.
Well, Paul W.S. Anderson's better than Luke.
I agree. He's better than almost anybody. Next, we meet Sonya Blade and Jax. Now, Sonya is a blonde lady played by Bridget Wilson before she was Samprist. And
right.
She, of course, went to film. What a year 1995 was, Henry. She left the set of Billy Madison, flew straight to the set of Mortal Kombat in Thailand.
Wow. Now, she's one of those actresses that I vaguely recognize, but I don't really know her.
It's because after she married Pete Sampras, she retired from acting.
Oh, at 28 or something?
No. She was in her 30s or something. I think her last credit on IMDb is 2008 or something.
Wow. Yeah, but her and the guy who plays Liu Kang,
Robin Shou,
they're weirdly stone-faced. There's not much going on there, but it works. And I think that a lot of that has to do with Paul W.S. Anderson.
Because they're casting
not great actors, but
they're casting for the video game. They're not changing the thing they do that's smart in these movies is they know that these dummies who play the video game just want to see those characters translated on the screen. So it's not like the fucking X-Men movie where they're like, we have to make this real. No, they're literally just like, oh right, Sub-Zero, he wears a blue costume and shoots ice out of his hands. We're just gonna do that.
Yeah. Placeholders.
Yeah, so Sonya Blade looks like Sonya Blade, and Robin Shou looks like Liu Kang.
And I had the same reaction to Robin Shou and Brigitte Nielsen and the guy who plays Johnny Cage in the first movie. And my first reaction
Lyndon
was
Ashby.
all of these actors. Lyndon Ashby. Yeah, my first reaction, and to Lambert, was they all suck. Okay?
I fully reject your feelings on Christopher Lambert.
Hold on. Every one of them has an extraordinarily bad first reading of their line, okay? And then something very strange happens. And I don't know if it's the pull of the movie or the hypnosis of the direction. Every scene they had right after their opening little spiel was fine. But they're flat opens, and then once they get going, they're totally fine. It's almost like
they need to get together, they need to get the banter going, and they need to get their asses to these weird environments.
And I was really nervous about Johnny Cage, because once he started talking, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? But
dude, I love that opening Johnny Cage scene, though.
Then he starts cracking some jokes, and he's actually not bad. He's kind of funny. And I don't know this dude either, but I'm sure you do.
No, he's a nobody. So he's filming that movie. He's in a movie. He's an actor. It's such an odd conception of this character, actually. Because the movie that they're filming is like a karate movie.
Yeah.
But then, they clearly cast the director of the movie to look like Steven Spielberg.
Yes, very odd. Is that a dig? It had to be a dig of
No,
some
no.
sort.
Apparently, it was a nod. Apparently, Spielberg was a huge Mortal Kombat video game fan.
I can't picture him playing a video game.
No, no, no. That's a thing. Apparently, if you like visit the offices of Amblin Studios or whatever, Spielberg is just hanging out in his office playing video games.
That's kind of awesome. I don't think I ever heard that about him.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's a real gamer, bro. I
And
bet he's on fucking Twitch.
They could have got somebody a little slimmer to play that little nod. Jesus Christ. Kind of that's what made me think it was a dig, because he's like a 295-pound giant. in
It's
that
not
chair.
quite 295 pounds, but
It's a big.
But anyway, I just thought that was weird. They were filming this karate movie. They cast like a prestige director, and then like they act like he's like a huge movie star. And I didn't get the sense that he's like a Jean-Claude Van Damme. But then when he was talking to his agent, apparently he's having some issues because the tabloids are accusing him of faking his stunts.
A lot of those guys have had happen to them by the press.
Jet Li, I remember there was some controversy because they were using some like digital techniques to enhance his moves, but he was like, "I'm doing the moves. We're just like adding some bullshit special effects."
No, they did that about Jet Li. I know they've said it about Seagal, and I believe it. I know they've said
How
it
dare
about
you.
Van Damme. I mean, who else is there that was some of those big martial arts?
Wesley
fellas?
Snipes, Michael Dudikoff,
I mean the stereotypical white guys who were big
Michael
in the-
Dudikoff.
Who the fuck is that?
That was
What's
a
he-
guy. He was like American Ninja.
That's like me naming like Jeff Speakman in The Perfect Weapon.
Brian Bosworth.
A fucking football player. That's not who I mean. I'm talking about your Van Dams and your Seagals.
I don't know who was in like Best of the Best.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking, man. Come on, this is all I watched when I was a kid. These guys.
It's
and-
Dudikoff.
I'm a little disappointed right now.
Why are you
Okay.
disappointed? Are you disappointed with me?
A little bit, because I thought
Are you kidding me? I just looked up American Ninja, Michael Dudikoff.
I don't know him.
He's in
But
tons of these fucking movies.
I mean, Van Damme was in a lot of them, and I feel like that we're missing a big guy, a big one. Our listeners are going crazy right now, probably either because they're bored or they know what I'm trying to say.
They're bored. They want us to talk more about Mortal Kombat.
They know what I'm trying to say, guys. You guys know who there's other of these dudes out there.
All right, Henry.
Whatever. All right, so Mortal Kombat. Let's do the plot real quick, so we can just talk about.
Well, I was trying to, man.
All right.
All right, I went through that Johnny Cage shit already. Jax and Sonya, they're like part of a SWAT team.
It's never clear what they do. I don't know what she does. Is she FBI? Is she DNS? What the fuck is she, man?
They're on some kind of a mission wearing black suits.
Yeah.
And we leave Jax behind in this one and catch up with him in the second movie.
We sure do.
Yeah, but Sonya, she sees the boat coming. There's a big pirate ship with like a dragon's head on it. And what it is we're going to go to this tournament that's going to decide the fate of the world.
Yeah, and it docks in, L.A. Harbor.
And they just hop right on, man. You don't even need, like, an invitation. Because I don't think Sonya is invited to this fucking thing, is she?
He wants her there.
You're right. He does fucking want her there. Because Shang Tsung keeps, like, morphing into people to, like...
Right.
Like, when Johnny Cage is talking to his agent, it's not actually his agent. It's Shang Tsung.
That's correct. And he merges into, he becomes Liu Kang's brother Chan a couple of times. And so he gets Sonya on there at basically Kano. He gets Kano to lure her on, as I recall. She chases Kano onto the boat.
Kano's an interesting character here. Now, this was a villain in the game. I mean, I don't know who was a villain.
But I remember him. Yeah, I remember him.
So he had that eye thing, but like I always thought he was like sort of like a super agent type, like a suave guy. But in the movie, he's like a soccer hooligan.
Yeah. He's like a Vinny.
Oi! It's me, Kano! You gonna fight me in Mortal Kombat? I'll fucking take you out with a flawless victory, Gov!
That was a pretty good accent for you for that region. I haven't heard you do that often.
Thank you, Henry.
You don't usually enter that realm of impressions.
Because I can't really do a British accent, but I could kind of do, like, stupid British accents. I could do, like, a northerner from Manchester. I could do a Liverpudlian, and I can do a soccer hooligan.
That's pretty good. Yeah, he's literally like, he's like chomping a chicken wing, and he's like, I've got Sonya here, I've got to get back to me underworld.
He literally is. He's up in Outworld, hanging out with Shang Tsung, chowing down on a huge chicken leg. He looks like he's at a fucking Renaissance fair.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I had a thought during that. I was like, if I was Kano, I'd be like, you know what, Shang Tsung, I really am not that interested in this Mortal Kombat stuff. I kind of got it made right here. Like, I got unlimited wine and turkey legs, probably some women. Okay.
He's got women, man. Kano,
Yeah,
you think he can't get a crack at Shiva if he wants to?
If he likes four-legged chicks, sure.
Four-armed, Henry, and you know what that means. To have
two vaginas? I don't know.
No, well, possibly. That's a good question. Who knows what's going on down there?
I don't know.
Let's think. You could stroke with one, balls with one in your butt, and maybe one just like casually playing with your hair.
Or if Kano's like hung like a giant, she could use all four hands on him.
I mean, who knows? We don't know what Kano's working with.
We really don't. Maybe he's not working with a lot. That's why he's like, I've got to go right now and fight some people, ladies. I'll be back in a little bit. No. I like you. It's just, I've got some fighting to do. You just hang around.
If you want me to fight in Mortal Kombat, all you've got to do is convince me that Johnny Cage is a huge Chelsea fan. Fuck that. All right.
I'm going to get me hands on me Sonya Blade, darling. How many times does he call her some kind of, hey, baby?
Yeah, it's true.
Horny.
Hey, sweetheart. You're fighting in the combat. All right. Henry, what happened? Oh, at the boat, I really enjoyed Johnny Cage mistaking Liu Kang for a baggage handler.
That was a nice little touch.
Awkward.
The white idiot, a little bit awkward. But I like how Liu Kang just tosses all his shit in the ocean. And yet, Johnny Cage must have retrieved it because he had all of it when they got onto the island.
All right, so the Mortal Kombat is fought once in a generation. I like to think about all the generations, like maybe the Gen X Mortal Kombat, a lot of flannel happening.
That'd be fantastic.
70s Mortal Kombat would be fun.
Oh, wow. You got like Scorpio versus
Scorpion.
You got Dirty Harry versus Scorpio.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you got John.
Well, that's a thing now. I feel like Mortal Kombat games, they do incorporate characters. Like I think Jason was in a Mortal Kombat game.
Is Mortal Kombat the game that I definitely not on, I don't think, of my Genesis system, but I definitely in the arcade. What game was it where you could be Captain America fighting a totally different...
That was Marvel vs. Capcom.
All right.
Capcom had the Street Fighter license. And so they would have Marvel characters fighting Street Fighter characters, basically.
And I know that game, but you're sure Mortal Kombat never licensed any of those characters ever? Because I could have sworn you could be Spider-Man and some of that shit.
I don't believe so. I don't think it's family friendly enough for that.
Well, that's something we need to touch on big time.
Why? Because the movie's kind of weirdly family friendly and the games aren't?
I believe that. That was very odd to me. I mean,
there's no blood in these fucking movies.
Dude, that game was disturbing to me as a teenager. I was like, and I loved it. But I mean, you ripped people's heads off, you ripped their spines out. I mean, it was fucking hilarious. It was great. And especially a movie like this, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who has no problem ripping out people's anything. I guess it was just the studio
mandate, really, of course. They didn't want an R.
And that, I mean, I get it. It works anyway, but how awesome would that be?
No, for sure. I do think that the world deserves a mature, R-rated Mortal Kombat movie at some point.
If they ever make movies again, there was one in production, was there not?
Yeah, we'll see. I have an idea, though, for the Mortal Kombat franchise, and it's an idea for franchises on the whole. Do you want to hear it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my theory. Think about the Fast and the Furious, Henry.
No. All right. Yeah.
Okay. The Fast and the Furious is the premier franchise in the world currently, I would say, other than the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
And it is going into its 9th film, and they've said that they're only going to make 10. But that they're still going to make Fast and Furious Cinematic Universe movies like Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
All right? So here's what you do. You take every franchise that didn't work on its own, okay? And you fold it in to the Fast and the Furious universe. Now think about this. You do a movie after Fast and Furious wraps up. You've got Hobbs and Shaw, Henry. They're recruited for a little tournament.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
Oh,
how
yeah.
How fucking great would that be? That's how you reboot this franchise.
Dude, you would have... First of all, you're absolutely right. First of all, it'd make
you need Han. You need Han, first of all.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Bring him back. That'd be fine. You tell me people wouldn't flock to pay to see Sub-Zero fight The Rock?
It would be incredible.
I'd go in a second, in a heartbeat, to see fucking who's somebody else in Fast and Furious. Dom. I want to see Dom go at it with fucking Scorpion, man.
Incredible.
Get over here.
Yeah.
Hey, we're family. And then he could say, we're family.
No, he'd be like, only if you got a Corona.
I don't have Coronas.
He would have to say it like that.
I have reptiles.
Yeah, and you just get a bunch of random TV actors to play these Mortal Kombat characters.
I'm so in, man.
It'd be great.
You get WS to do one. You get who's the director? Justin Liu.
Justin. You talking?
No, that's James
wait, you're
Wan.
Screwing me up.
Who's?
You're talking about the guy who did a bunch of the Fast and Furious movies. Yeah. What's that guy's name?
It was Justin Liu.
Justin Lin is his name.
Justin Lin.
Yeah.
And then you said James Wan. He's the Conjuring.
Yeah. Yes. Oof. Not great. Not great for a while there.
Justin Liu. I mean, whatever. Justin Lin. Yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right. So this tournament is fought every generation, and it's Outworld versus the United States of America. I mean, I guess Earth or whatever. And so the Milky Way galaxy.
Gotta get Lambert. You gotta mention his weird fucking performance in here.
Well, Raiden is the lightning god, and he's like, I guess the Liu Kang's family worships him.
Is he supposed to be funny?
Yes, absolutely he is.
Oh no! I mean, he is funny in the movie. It works. I mean, in the video.
No, in the video game he's not. But that's a thing they did in these movies.
I thought that was very funny and took me totally by surprise when he. I think the first time he is enjoying a fight and he laughs and then he goes, "Sorry."
No, I think they nailed Raiden. I mean, other than the whole race thing, I like Christopher Lambert in this movie, and I think it's the only character that was successfully recast in the sequel.
That's because they got the great
James Remar. It's me, James Remar. That wasn't a good James Remar.
I've got to be in almost every movie that has a sequel. It might not be the best sequel of that franchise.
You're doing a really good James Remar. Just add a slight sibilant S, and you've got it.
He does have a sibilant S, but I will be an alien resurrective.
Now you sound like Bill Paxton. All right, so the rule is, if one of the realms wins 10 Mortal Kombats in a row,
it's a lot.
It's so many Mortal Kombats. That's 10 generations. That's such a long time.
Who's to say what a generation is?
Well, I mean, I would think the Elder Gods.
Oh, they're the ones who say, okay. They're like they want it. They don't want it to be that long between combat tournaments, so they're like, we will go by the demographic metrics of the United States. They don't live that long. Mm-hmm. They'll be 30 years tops.
We'll compete in Mortal Kombat every sweeps period.
Yeah, they're like they lived to be very, very old in Italy, so we're not going to go by the Italians. Go by the Americans. They eat a lot of fast food. Every 25 years we'll have one.
That's right. And even though Mortal Kombat has a slight Asian tone for some reason, even though it takes place across multiple realms, we are not going to go by the Chinese. They live too long, too.
Well, that's absolutely right. That is absolutely right, God friend. They live to be 120. I can't wait that long.
I'm Fire God. Which one are you?
God, water
God. Yes. Great. We won't even talk about Air God. He might be a traitor.
I'm not interested in that. My name is Hydro. I assume you go by the name of Pyro.
No, I'm Asho.
Oh, that's right. You like the aftermath of your destruction.
I live for Ash, and it's why I spend all my days raising things with fire.
Pompeii, that was good work of yours. Good work, Asher.
That's right. I only hope that one of our finest filmmakers can one day adapt that into a great film with
good luck.
With one of my favorite Game of Thrones actors.
Good luck. I got lucky on Deep Impact. That was me.
Yeah, but they fucked up the perfect storm, bro.
They sure did, Wolfgang Peterson. I'm looking at you. Jawohl.
We should force him to fight Kung Lao. Where am I? Okay.
9.
A 10th win and they can invade. And Outworld apparently has been like wrecking the United States of America. 9 wins in a row. What are you doing, Earth?
It's like Yankees Mets, man. This is not a fair fight here, clearly.
It's wild, dude.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters playing that.
It really is. It's like the Milky Way galaxy is like the generals of Mortal Kombat. Okay, so they are in some sort of realm between.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like a purgatory kind of a situation. And they get there and they meet all the. Oh well, first they run into Sub-Zero on the boat, and he gets a little power demonstration, right? Don't they? Isn't there a fight on a boat? Do you know what I'm talking about? The boat fight.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
It's Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then Raiden comes in and stops. He says, "Hey, you're trying to interfere with my guys before the fight. Can't do that."
Right, and they're all like, "What the fuck? That guy made ice, and he had snakes coming out of his hands." And Raiden's like, "Listen, you're gonna be seeing a lot of that sort of thing."
And then they're kind of like, "Oh, all right."
Yeah, they sort of accept it pretty quick.
Yeah. Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, they go along with it. Yeah.
When we first get to the Mortal Kombat arena, we meet Katana, who is another of our female leads in the film, played by Talisa Soto.
Love her.
Yeah, what do you know her from?
License to Kill. She's the Bond girl.
God, that's right. Of course she is.
Oh yeah.
She really is fucking stunning.
She is. It's ridiculous, man. And she is more stunning in this than she is in the Bond movie. She's just quite breathtaking.
Yeah, she had a little run after that Bond movie, and it sort of ended with this.
Yeah, it's too bad because I like her. I actually.
She's retired, man. Her last movie was Ballistic X versus Sever.
Nah. Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, she married Ben Bratt. That's what happened.
Benjamin Bratt?
Yeah, she's been with him since 2002.
What happened to that guy?
Benjamin Bratt? I don't know. He's probably spending his days fucking Talisa Soto.
For him. Wasn't he with Julia Roberts for a while? I remember that.
I don't know. He's been around. He was on. Let's see. He's doing stuff. He was in the Coco, the Pixar movie. He's in those Ride Along movies. He was in Doctor Strange. I forgot that.
Jesus Christ!
And he played Sofia Vergara's ex-husband on Modern Family.
All right. Yeah, Julia Roberts thanked him when she won the Oscar for Aaron Brockovich. I remember that. And he was in the audience. Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, I know, and then they're not together anymore, so fucking cares. Never thank your boyfriend or girlfriend at the Oscars.
Who's she with now? I feel like all these big actresses, they date like a million huge actors, and then they all end up with a cameraman.
Totally true, and I think that's exactly what happened with her.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's been with that dude forever now. A lot of kids and all that shit. Yeah.
Good for her. Whatever. So Katana, she's just sort of like a lady in a corset.
I would hardly call her that. She's quite the opposite of a lady in a corset.
She's 10,000 years old, they say, but Liu Kang is smitten.
Yeah, and Johnny Cage makes a remark about that. That's kind of funny, I recall. Yeah.
Great.
She's 10,000 years old, dude. I mean, how do you expect?
So Shang Tsung introduces Mortal Kombat. And we get some power demonstrations. We meet Goro, who is like that big, dumb-looking guy. He's basically a puppet.
Yeah, but you know what, though, man? It didn't. His looks didn't bother me. Like it's hilarious because it's 1995, and I know they could have done better. But it's kind of doesn't matter. Like it works. It's realistic enough. It's like it's better than a Ray Harryhausen, but it's not quite Jurassic Park.
It's not better than a Ray Harryhausen. This is bad, dude. I mean, it's going for a kind of 80s-ish Gremlins style thing, or like Sloth in Goonies or something, but it kind of does look shitty.
I guess.
And it barely moves. It does nothing. It just sort of lumbers around.
In this movie than it does in Annihilation.
What?
That everything looks better in this movie than it does in Annihilation.
I guess so. All right, so Mortal Kombat starts, Henry, and I've taken the liberty of writing down all the fights.
Wow. All right. Great.
Fight 1. Liu Kang fights a random black guy.
Okay.
All right. Now, yeah. I don't know where this black guy is from or why he is one of the greatest warriors on Earth. Or I guess he's from Outworld. But I will say that it is pretty shameless how there are like 2 throwaway kills early on in this movie, and they just created random black characters that aren't in the games.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable. I mean, that was one of the other things I must say that was a little bit confusing about the movie. It could have maybe done a little bit better a job. Was the difference between, like, what happens to a human when they go to Outworld? Like, I thought they can
seems like the atmosphere is Earth-like.
Yeah. Yes, and so like I mean, it feels, but the characters are doing things that are slightly more superhuman, but not really. And if these Outworld characters, like you mentioned, shouldn't they just be like these crazy Titanic type of characters that can just? I mean, I don't. It was very strange. It's almost like Outworld was just a location for the combat, like nothing more.
Well, yeah.
No, but like the people, are there no residents of Outworld who are like, it wasn't really like aliens fighting
No,
them,
I'm
any
sure
kind
there
of-
are towns. Listen, we're in a subjugated area. It's sort of like the Olympic Village.
Okay.
That's how I thought of it. This is Mortal Kombat Village, and you could fight anywhere within the confines of this village. But I gotta think Outworld. It's got suburbs. It's got cities.
Yes, they have a hot skates.
Yeah, it's just the sky is kind of weird, and a lot of people can shoot stuff out of their hands.
Okay, all right. So it's basically, you take me to Outworld, all of a sudden I might get 1 or 2 powers if I'm lucky, but it's just kind of the air out there is just very healthy.
By the way, Henry, I went to a place called Outworld once. I bought some anal beads. What do you think? What do you think of that joke?
I think you're lying, but I think that,
Well, that's what we call a joke, Henry.
Yeah, but a flash in my head believed you for a second.
I bet you did.
Because, I don't know you.
Yeah. So after Liu Kang murders this random black guy, Shang Tsung sucks his soul out of his body, which I think is cheating. I don't think he should be allowed to do that.
Well, that's his. That's what he keeps him going. I mean, then I assume he gets all the powers.
But no one seems to object to it. Like, Liu Kang kills this guy.
He's going to object to it. He can do whatever he wants. He's like an all-powerful being. Is somebody going to be like, hey, wait a second?
Does the U.S. ever host Mortal Kombat?
If they did, they'd do whatever the fuck they want. We waterboard people. I mean, come on.
I guess you're right. All right.
You're damn right I'm right. There's no rules.
All right, so he says fatality. That was exciting for me.
That was great. That was great.
Mm-hmm. And next fight, Henry, Sonya Blade versus Kano.
Yeah. Good fight. Good one. He comes out. He's all, hello, baby, again.
Hey, love. Oi, love.
What point
you want some fisticuffs over here?
I'd really appreciate it if you just shut up and fight. Can we just not talk?
Mm-hmm. But then she's got a great line, Henry, because she says, give me a break. And then she breaks his neck.
That was pretty brutal / not at all graphic kill.
All right, next fight. Let's get to it. Best fight in the movie. Scorpion v. Johnny Cage. I remember this was in the trailers. Like them in the woods, like shooting their special moves at each other. That was all over the trailers.
And then Scorpion takes him into this. Now, this went through my mind, and I have to believe. You said this budget was what, 10 million, 12 million? 18 million. This is a set.
Of course it is.
He take not the woods. He takes him to this.
Yeah, it's like a Scorpion demon realm.
It is unbelievable, Dan.
Yeah,
like
there's lots of chairs made out of skulls and things.
That production design, it's unbelievable. Like, I don't usually give credit where in that. I'm not that. I kind of take it for granted in a lot of movies. But I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, God damn, that's great.
It's not exactly subtle.
Oh, no, it's not at all. It's not that it's subtle at all. No, of course not. It's in your fit, but it's so creative.
No, it does. It looks exactly like the kind of level in a game. Like, you know how in fighting games, sometimes you're fighting, and then, like, the ground breaks, and you fall down into another little area? It looks like that.
It's amazing, man. And, I mean, it's the fight, and I even like how the fight is just choreographed. Like, they both dominate occasionally. It's the best fight in the movie, really. I mean, it shouldn't be, but it is.
Well, I find that Johnny Cage actually defeats a lot of the more important bad guys in the movie, and then Liu Kang beats Shang Tsung and takes all the cred, bro.
He does, and honestly, after that, I was really looking forward to the Sub-Zero Robin Chu fight. And it was really, really short and not that great. And I was just kind of like, geez, that's a little disappointing because Sub-Zero is a fucking cool character, you know.
Yeah, but Sub-Zero
Scorpion
gets a pretty sweet fight in the sequel, bro.
yes, he does. Very, very much so. Sub-Zero's brother. But like they reminded me like they're clearly, I would say, modeled on like G.I. Joe's Snake Eyes and Storm
Yes,
Shadow.
of course.
Yeah. And those are like two of my favorites, obviously, in the G.I. Joe thing. And these guys are just so cool. But yeah, he dispatches Sub-Zero like in 10 seconds.
Well, but the Scorpion one goes on forever, and it ends with that real cool set piece where his mask comes off, and under his mask, his head is a skull, and it's breathing fire.
Out.
And then Johnny Cage like kicks the shit out of him, and he like his blood is lava.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking explodes next to a killer headshot of Johnny Cage, which is totally one of his fucking things from the game. Like either a fatality or maybe a friendship. Remember friendships?
No.
That was when instead at the end it would say finish him, and instead of like ripping his spine out, you'd like give him a kiss or something.
That shit didn't exist in my version, man. I don't remember that at all. I had the all brutal version. I don't remember that. There was just finish him. That was it. I don't remember an alternate.
Anytime it was finish him, it would be me like trying to do a move and then accidentally like just kicking him and him falling down.
Finish him. Oh, all right. Hold on. Let me get this
left, right, punch. Ah, damn it.
Damn it! And then you're done. Yeah.
Next, Liu Kang versus Katana.
Okay, right. Yeah. Now that's a half-assed fight on purpose.
Yeah, and that's when we bring Sub-Zero in, and it becomes a three-way fight. And Sub-Zero sort of gets impaled on his own stalactite or something.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense, but okay. Yeah, he gets killed by an icicle, which, you know, I don't know how that he wouldn't foresee that possible death ever happening to him, but
Goro next fights Johnny's black friend. He's given a name, I don't remember what, Ace or something. I don't know. He's like another movie star, I guess. What if there are two movie stars in the world that are like the best warriors in the planet?
I know. I don't know what he was. Is that what he was?
No, he might have just been like a karate guy.
I think he was I think he was a karate fella, and boy, he gets his ass handed to him by a six-armed. What does he look like, Goro? He looks like that Batman villain that Etrigan fights.
I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Detective Comics issue 601 through 603.
He's bringing up a random fucking arc from Detective Comics from when he was a kid.
It's my first Etrigan appearance that I ever saw in
Right.
1989.
I first saw him in a Green Arrow comic.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Goro kills this dude. I was really disappointed by this fight because it's a perfect opportunity for a fatality. Like, it's literally like, it's like one more blow and this guy's gonna die.
Yeah,
and like, because they can't really maneuver the Goro puppet, like, he just sort of like whacks him with his arm. Like, that's the best they could do.
And then he holds him up, though, right? He holds, like, the body up.
Yeah, I guess so.
He doesn't break his back or anything.
No, that's what it should have been.
Yeah, that's what he was going to do. I was like, oh, we're really going to finish him off now. And
If they did a Mortal Kombat movie now, like the crossover with Fast and Furious, Goro would look awesome.
He would look awesome. They wouldn't need any makeup. They just get Vin Diesel on there and throw a couple of arms on
You
him.
need a tall guy. You get Cesaro, the wrestler Cesaro, to do it. You know, you can just get wrestlers, because in this movie there's a bunch of American gladiators.
Oh, are there really?
I think maybe in the second one there are more. Yeah, I looked up some of the actors, and it was like he was Malibu in American Gladiators.
What a dumb fucking show that was. I think I watched some of that. Oh, Dan's looking around at all the characters. He's looking at Sub-Zero like, you kidding me?
I loved American Gladiators. I watched it for years. I loved every second of it. I can name all of them. Laser, Turbo. That's Siren. Okay,
Like you're naming
Gemini.
Running Man cast. It's the Running Man cast you're naming. King Kong Bundy, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's great too. So, American Gladiators was great, and then they rebooted it for NBC, like in the aughts, and that was awesome too. But they canceled it pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, that's when MMA was taken. Nobody cared about that shit anymore.
I was in. Yeah, but what are you talking about? Like American Ninja Warrior is the hugest shit in the world.
I don't know.
That's been on the air forever.
Joe Rogan.
Don't bring up Joe Rogan on a pod. Oh, well, actually, you should bring up Joe Rogan on a podcast. We'll get numbers, baby.
Oh, only if you mention him in the. You should mention Joe Rogan's name. Throw it in every Chiron you do. Just put his name in there.
Great idea. I'll do it.
Just do it. Just be like, oh, we get to talk about Goro smashing Joe Rogan's body in half. And then it'll be like, Joe Rogan? They're gonna. Oh my god!
You don't need Goro to beat up Joe Rogan. Fucking any of these guys could beat up Joe Rogan. Are you kidding me? Sonya Blade would wreck Joe Rogan.
She would, and that would be fun to watch.
It certainly would. Certainly. Okay.
Right,
next, Johnny Cage versus Goro. Johnny Cage is wearing sunglasses. He immediately goes for the balls and then kicks him off of a cliff into a swirling abyss. I don't know what the swirling abyss is doing there, but I'm not asking questions.
I didn't either. It's just a cliff the first time we see it, and then all of a sudden he doesn't fall down. He's hanging down, Goro is. He's hanging down, he is. And then when he lets go...
Kano, are you there?
He lets go and he doesn't fall down. He, like, falls out. It's great. It's great stuff. Like, it's outer space. So, But Johnny Cage was ready, man. He said, I got a plan. Now, how he knew Goro had a vulnerability in his nuts,
How does he even know that that's where his balls are?
Oh, because if it's like a Star Trek character, his balls could be on his shoulder.
I don't know the physiology of these Outworldians.
I don't either, you know. Or he could be like Trump. He could be a eunuch. He might not have any balls.
He's got balls. He's got little guys. Trump?
He's a eunuch.
He's got balls. They hang down low, baby.
They were cut.
How dare you? All right, next we get Liu Kang versus Reptile. And Reptile, he becomes Bugs. That's pretty fun.
That was a strange character because it's a Sub-Zero Scorpion knockoff, just in a green costume. Although I guess he's not. Is he in the game?
That's in the game, yeah. Reptile was in the most recent game at the time, and he was an enormously popular character because it was basically like the first game had Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and they were like the two most popular characters. And so then in the next one, they were like, we'll add another one. So
make him green.
Yeah. So it was Reptile, and like he like breathes acid or like spits acid at you or something, and under his mask he's a big lizard guy. And so they threw him in the movie like last minute. I think that scene was like reshoots. They were like, let's throw Reptile in.
All right. It's like in the next one we added a guy in a red suit.
Yep,
red suit.
Ermac, and then there's also the guy in the purple suit, Rain, and they're also from the games.
I don't remember Rain.
He's in the movie.
In Annihilation?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Shang Tsung, they fight him, they beat him. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah, everybody have fun tonight. They sing that at the end, and I'm sorry, that's Shang Tsung, not Wang Chung.
Good one, bro.
Yeah, they beat him, and we don't talk about Raiden at all. But I mean, because he can't. We should mention
he doesn't matter. He doesn't fight. He's just hanging around delivering inspirational speeches.
Yeah, it's always that bullshit, fucking pseudo Confucian wisdom. Isn't even close to anything insightful. It's like it's the equivalent today of "it is what it is," and it's just like back then they're just saying like, "You are your own worst enemy, Johnny."
I know.
Come on, man.
In Annihilation, when like Jax has those big metal arms, and Raiden is like, "Why do you lack confidence?"
Yeah.
And Jax's response was like, "These are state of the art." And I was like, "That's the right response, Jax." You nailed that. Fuck this guy.
I understand that you just had your arms amputated and had steel put onto them, but that is not your true power.
Well, fucking thank you. Yes, it might be.
This piece of shit. When you meet a woman who has just gotten fake boobs, you say, your breasts look great. You don't say, you were truly beautiful before you spent the money. Maybe you say that eventually. But...
yeah, after this, the fourth time.
What do you give this movie?
Oh. I'm so into this show right now. I'm so into the excitement of talking
Henry,
about it.
I'll let you off the hook. This movie's a 3.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
I know. I love it. I love every second of this movie, but it's a 3.
Now, why aren't you going 4 at least? Why can't you give
this? Because it's bad. It's the kind of thing where you literally have to ignore like every plot thread in the entire movie and just enjoy it on a surface level because the movie makes 0 sense.
Yeah, but it is one of the best 3-star movies I've ever seen for this show.
Okay, well, I like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a 3 that I'm like giving like kind of like, oh, if it was this and if it was that. No, it's perfect for what it is, but it's a 3-star movie. Yeah.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP, this was really hard. You know, I had to contend with like nostalgia and all this other shit, but I didn't go with nostalgia. I went with the character that I thought watching the movie and it going through it could have really been terrible, but I think this mediocre actor pulls it off. And I'm gonna go with Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, Lyndon Ashby getting the old MVP.
You know, it's funny. He's actually funny, this guy. I like his lines. That could have been real bad to watch and made it a bad movie, but he makes it funny. I'm going to go with Johnny Cage.
He's okay. I'll go with Katana.
Okay.
Talisa Soto.
She's got a lot more to do in the next film, but yeah.
Yeah, but I have, I'll say it right now. I'm giving James Remar my MVP. I love James Remar.
Well, I'll say mine right now. It's Katana in the next movie.
Okay, great.
My MVP, I was very hard, but I'll pick one. I guess I'm going to go with Chan.
Chan? You mean Liu Kang's brother? What's wrong with you?
No, I liked everybody in the movie. It was hard. I liked everybody. I think you're going to go with Goro.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I should go with Goro.
Oh,
I will. I was going to go with Kano. That actor's just ridiculous. But
yeah, but he's fun.
I know. Yeah, I'll go with Goro. That's stupid.
Okay. I liked Goro.
God, I don't even know what to do at this point in the show. I want to jump to a superhero account, but there's no superhero account to jump to.
I'm so sorry. I've gotten a couple of emails.
No, I think we should still leave it off.
You're gonna leave it out. It will return, everybody, at some point. I just need a little bit of a break.
Not if I have my druthers.
Oh, well, you heard him, folks. I mean, you heard him. No, I've whatever. It's fine. Yeah. I haven't missed doing it. I'll tell you that. But I got some very flattering emails about its inclusion, but they're also very understanding. So we have very nice listeners. So it's very nice.
You're all very nice.
You're all very nice. I heard from some new people. We're not at that point in the show.
Not even close. Fucking Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Let's do it. We've got a new director, John R. Leonetti, Henry. Now, he was a cinematographer.
Yeah.
And he got his start on Child's Play 3, I believe. And, this is off the top of my head, by the way. He directed Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and then he had to put his tail between his legs and go back to being a cinematographer. But then an incredible thing happened in his career. He met a man by the name of Jason Blum, who hired him to be the DP on many of the early Blumhouse movies, including the first Conjuring and...
I'm looking at him.
And what else?
Insidious.
Yeah,
Insidious
both the
2,
first 2 Insidiouses, yeah.
And then he got to direct.
Yeah, and then they let him direct, and he directed the first Annabelle movie, which was a huge hit. And so now he's like a director guy.
Yeah, he sure is.
What else he made? He did that movie Wish Upon.
Yeah, I was looking at that last night as one of my possible late night bullshit.
Some people like that movie.
Yeah, I think I passed, but it has your girl in it. Joey King's the star of it.
I'm listening.
It's about a box that she finds, and she makes wishes, and of course, it destroys everybody.
It's about Joey King's box. I'll watch it. Okay. Henry.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. My phones fell off. Yeah.
All right, so this Leonetti guy, he directs now. What's his most recent movie?
The Silence. Oh, I passed on
that was a Netflix thing, right?
That's still on. You can watch. That's Stanley Tucci, Miranda Otto, Kiernan Shipka. That's the girl from Mad Men.
It sure is, yeah. Sabrina the Teenage Witch herself.
That's right. That's right.
So he's the director. The writer, there's a million writers. They just the producers have writing credits, and then they hired some hacks to get their story into shape, and here it is. It's a movie. It was released November 21st, 1997. Might have seen it during Thanksgiving break or something.
I didn't even know this movie existed, dude.
Mm-hmm. Budget of $30 million.
My lord.
I know, that's a lot. Box office at 51.3. It was kind of a disappointment. Came in at number 61 at the American box office, right there between Vegas Vacation and Selena. Yeah, still getting pretty bad connection because of the maskless block party happening outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I have the Ethernet, so my connection's never bad.
No, it's totally my fault tonight. Okay, Johnny Cage. All right, let's talk about it. The movie starts. How'd you feel about it? You've got there was a cliffhanger in the first movie where they've won, and then Shao Kahn shows up or whatever, and he's like, "We're going to invade anyway."
That's completely what happened. However, I took the ending to be that's a cool ending. They're just gonna have another quick fight, and everyone lived happily ever after.
Well, that's what that's what the ending's supposed to be, of course.
Right, but not so. We pick up right there. First of all, the movie begins, and I got excited because it starts again with the Mortal Kombat, and I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, and we haven't lost our step, I'm thinking. I'm like, all right, let's just keep going. Let's keep doing what we're doing. I know we got a new director, but maybe he can put the pieces together, and
he can.
He doesn't. He can't.
I love this movie.
You're fucking nuts, man. This movie's a mess.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
This is a great movie.
I'm so sorry that you feel that way, and I feel bad that you feel that way, especially given the brilliance of WS.
Here's what's incredibly stupid about the movie is you don't want to continue the adventure. Mortal Kombat has an incredible built-in structure that you could just do. All you have to do is it's the next generation. And maybe you have a couple of returning characters, but you bring in all these new characters that have been introduced in the next games, and it's the next. Yeah, all you have to do is it's the next Mortal Kombat. It's exactly like the fucking Hunger Games, where the second Hunger Games is oh well, it's the Hunger Games again, and now it's All Stars.
Excellent point. Yes, that is exactly right. You just need to do. This is the easiest thing to do. Mm-hmm. This is a sequel that doesn't require any story originality. Just do it again.
Why do you have 5 writers on this movie? It's the next tournament and come up with the fighting combinations, you dummies.
Yeah, completely. It's a total. I don't know, man. Look, it wasn't painful to watch, but it was really boring.
Here's why it's boring for you. Because the characters that are introduced in this movie, these are my Mortal Kombat characters, and the movie, the plot is so stupid. As dumb as the first movie is, this is impossible to follow. You're having characters deliver, endless fucking exposition about velospheres and, you
Yeah.
go into this ball. First of all, you need a tattoo from this family line to even use it. And then it moves due to the hot air produced by the center of the Earth. I'm like, there's air in the center of the Earth? What's happening?
Yeah, the velosphere. I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, all of a sudden we're time traveling, and I love how they say. I couldn't stop thinking about this because this is the way my mind works. They go, you can go anywhere in the world in a matter of hours.
Where are the entrances? Where are they popping out?
Correct. And I'm thinking, wait. In a matter of hours? That's not fast. You have to stand with your arms.
Great
held
point.
to the
Spinning.
Spinning, and I would never last. I don't know how these guys last, staring face to face at each other.
Well, to be fair, Henry, these are the greatest warriors on the planet.
It's a great point. I am not one of the greatest warriors on the planet.
You would not be invited to Mortal Kombat.
Hey, you know what, Dan? In some universe, maybe you and I are considered like amazing warriors somewhere,
What universe is that?
That movie where like Jumanji, where we'd be other people.
Right, exactly. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. That's where we'd thrive.
But no. Granted, I probably could stand with Talisa Soto nose to nose for hours if forced. But that's a long time to go, like from what, to L.A. to China.
Where do you pop out? Wouldn't we be noticing these balls popping out of the ground everywhere?
It's a velosphere. You can go anywhere in the world in a matter of hours.
You mean like Delta or American Airlines? That's a matter of hours.
And those are, I gotta say, a more luxurious situation. I can't even read in the velosphere.
It'd be kind of like one of the characters just raise their hand and be like, Raiden, can I go my own route to I can I go to LAX and I have a first class all year round ticket. I'll take Talisa with me.
I wrote down this line of exposition about the velosphere, Henrik, because I thought it was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in a movie. He says, "The inner winds propel you."
They sure do.
What?
I don't know. Journey to the center of the earth. Yeah. The saddest part about this movie, really, I really got to say, and I felt this. This was this hurt. This hurt more than anything. Was watching poor James Remar.
How dare you? He seems to be having a delightful time.
No, he doesn't. He's in this. It's a lovely paycheck for him, and I'm glad because it helps him to just keep his career going because he's a great actor. But my God, I mean, get him out of this.
He's my MVP. He's great. Adding some class to this joint.
I agree, but it's still just kind of sad to see him doing some shit like this.
Yeah,
man.
but what about that part where he gets a makeover? And he comes out with short hair and he's like, new look.
They're cutting his hair and he's like, finish it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Johnny Cage dies immediately. What'd you think about that?
I didn't like it. I was like, what the fuck is this? And the guy looked so exactly like the other actor.
They
but
just
it
throw
wasn't.
sunglasses on him.
But it wasn't. I thought it was for a minute. I was like, oh, they got this guy. It's not.
I read that they offered him and he was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to come back and just die at the beginning of a shitty movie.
I want to go to the world of mid-90s television drama on ABC and just die a slower death.
What's he on in there?
I have no idea, but it feels like that's what happened to this guy, Lyndon Ashby.
There's no way he's good enough for television. He's got to be daytime television, this guy.
The Young and the Restless.
All right, I'm looking him up. Hey, by the way, he's in Resident Evil Extinction. I don't remember that.
That's awesome. Because they're friends. He must be friends with WS.
I've got news for you. We've encountered this guy before.
No way.
He is the sheriff. Actually, he was deputy at the beginning of the series of the MTV Teen Wolf show.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Okay.
He also played Commander in Iron Man 3. He's had a career, this guy.
I remember that credit because I looked him up. Okay. All right. Well. All right. All right. All right.
He's around. Well, he's in one of the Wild Things straight-to-video sequels. He's in a couple of them, actually.
All right. Well, good for him. Hal Ashby's son, Lyndon.
Do you think there's any way that's possible?
No, but it'd be great if it was.
By the way, it said the first IMDb trivia studied with Sanford Meisner at the neighborhood playhouse in New York for 2 years. Yeah, that really paid off. By the way, speaking of some of the casting, do you know about like some of the original casting for the Mortal Kombat movie?
Enlighten me.
It was in development for a long time. So they had a different guy who was going to play Jax in the first one, and it was going to be a bigger part. And then he died of pancreatic cancer right before filming.
Jesus Christ.
So that's an interesting thing. So how about this? Brandon Lee was going to fucking play Johnny Cage, and, of course, died on the set of The Crow.
He died, too. So 2 guys dead.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we get? Tom Cruise.
No.
I wanted Tom Cruise for one of them.
But now here's a really amazing thing. Cameron Diaz, Henry.
Yeah, I read that. I did read this. Yeah.
She was cast as Sonya Blade and was like all set. Like she had done training, like martial arts training for this fucking movie. She got a wrist injury a week before filming. I think she lied about it. And she was.
I didn't read she got a wrist injury. I just heard she was originally cast. Why would she lie about it? You think she wanted out?
I think at the last second she saw the box office receipts of The Mask and said, "I'm too good for this Mortal Kombat movie. I'm out of here."
Maybe. She actually, at that stage in her career, probably would have been a pretty cool Sonya Blade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would have been great. But Bridget Wilson Sampras, just Bridget Wilson at the time, she was apparently like their second choice, and the delay of filming, like it was delayed so much that she got through the entire Billy Madison shoot, so she was able to do it after all.
That very demanding 9-month Billy Madison shoot.
It's one of the great comedies of all time they came out with.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so first, let's talk about it. It's all fights. Liu Kang fights Smoke. Now, he's a black robot.
Okay.
And, he also says, get over here in the games.
How do you know he's black?
The color of the robot is black.
Oh,
I don't mean African American, you dumb shit. He's a black robot.
Well, it's confusing, because you said the 2 black guys, and then earlier in the other show you said he's black.
Context cues, you dumbass!
I don't remember the context cues. You said he fights a black robot. I don't know what it is. Okay.
So you don't say, how do you know he's black?
Why do you even say he's a black robot? Don't you say he fights a robot?
There's 3 different robots in this movie, and the only way to distinguish them is their colors.
I thought you were virtue signaling for robot.
No!
The robot community.
No, there are black robots in the Michael Bay Transformers movies that have gold teeth and speak in Ebonics. That is true, but not in this movie.
Oh, Michael Bay, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Sub-Zero shows up to help with Smoke, and he uses his like ice powers to like explode him and shit, and he uses some of his special powers from later games. Sub-Zero was such a popular character that he had his own game, Henry. It wasn't even a fighting game. You just played as Sub-Zero. Like,
that's so fucking cool, man. It's something about like, but I was thinking about like the ice powers thing. You got Iceman in X-Men. You got other people I can't think of.
Right.
But Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero. It's the outfit. It's fucking badass outfit, man.
It's a cool outfit.
It's a cool name. It's a cool name too.
I mean, kind of, I guess.
It's better than Mr. Freeze.
It's way better than that.
It's better than Iceman.
It's weird that there aren't more ice puns in the Mortal Kombat.
Frozone.
Good job.
Yeah, they're not, I redeemed myself. Yeah, there's not a lot of puns, period, in these movies. The humor is muted.
There's not a lot of irony in these movies. Like, they really just do it.
Well, that's why the first one's so good, though, because I think
That's what I like about the second one too.
The second one.
Listen, I understand. This movie shows up in a lot of lists of the worst movies ever made, and I understand why. But
and everybody disowned it. I read who was even fucking associated.
And I think they're stupid too. I think this is a totally fun movie.
You think it's as good as the first one?
No, I don't think. I think it's bad, but like I think there's elements of the first one that's actually well done because Paul W.S. Anderson knows how to stage scenes and shit, and the production design is good. This movie looks cheaper, even though it's way more expensive. And God. I mean, it just has 100 different characters, none of which you get to know. No. Every single recasting except for James Remar is an enormous downgrade.
Yeah, it is a big. You're right. Sonya Blade. I mean, she wasn't.
She is like barely a person. This girl.
It's pretty bad. I mean, although I said my MVP is Katana. I think Talisa Soto is very good in this. Jade isn't bad. Jade. She's but
okay.
The worst.
I mean, she's just a model, dude.
Right. I know. The worst actor in this movie, dude. It's unreal. I thought like maybe okay, she's hamming it up. She does not improve, and that is the villainess, Sindel.
All right.
Oh my God,
I am upset about this review of Sindel.
Is abominable, man.
This is, I know off the top of my head, Musetta Vander.
Yeah.
And I know her from her role the very same year as Mortal Kombat Annihilation. In the 4th ever episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she plays a science teacher who, it turns out, is from a race of giant praying mantis people. And she tries to take Xander's virginity so that he can impregnate her and then bite off his head, because that's what praying mantises do after sex.
That is what they do. Now,
so that's episode 4 of Buffy, of course, entitled Teacher's Pet, written by David Greenwalt. And Musetta Vander plays this self-same praying mantis lady, and she is sexy and awesome. And
I believe you.
And she shows up in this fucking movie. And first of all, Sindel is one of the worst characters in the games. Like, she had no moves. She could, like, hit you with her hair, I think. And she could, like, float. But she kind of sucked. And it's a weird casting for this movie because she's supposed to be Katana's mom.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what is there, a 6-month age difference between these actresses?
Well, the only reason I could justify that or rationalize it was that they're both 10,000 years old. So
no,
yeah,
but they put white in Sindel's hair to like, oh, she's the mom.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But we get a centaur in this, and then
that's either Motaro or Kintaro.
Motaro.
That's from the games.
Yeah, and we get
why is it whenever you see a centaur, he's really well built? Like, why are these centaurs working out their abs so much?
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, I think I have an answer.
Okay.
Their upper body strength is very dependent upon them having a strong torso because, you know, it's all horse below. So it's like almost reminds me, and I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, had extraordinary upper body strength and worked out his upper body because he had no use of his
I'm sure
legs.
it was extraordinary.
He's a very
what a strong guy. FDR.
He's a very strong
I'm
man.
sure he could really lift.
Let me tell you something. Mortal Kombat.
What, just because his fucking biographers say that about him?
No, you can look at the films.
What films? What films have you seen of FDR lifting shit?
There's films of him swimming, of him moving himself on braces, carrying his entire body weight.
I'm calling bullshit on this FDR theory.
Yeah? Look it up, motherfucker. I can't believe you're questioning me on presidential bullshit trivia.
No, I'm not questioning you. I know that you read this. I'm questioning these bullshit biographers trying to make this dude sound more awesome than he was.
He was awesome.
Yeah, I know, but we don't need to... Oh, plus he was strong.
I'm not saying he won the fucking
You know what
match.
else? He was really funny.
It was funny, all right? He talked like this, and he was cigarette holder.
And he was the best in bed. He could make Eleanor come at a moment's notice.
Well, I don't think he could. That was one of their problems. But listen, Motaro Mortal Kombat match with FDR.
That'd be good.
Or Teddy Roosevelt, who actually did fucking box. Teddy Roosevelt,
Please.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I'd love to see Teddy Roosevelt versus Mike Tyson. Let's see what happens.
You know what? We will see what happens because it's going to happen in the next universe we create.
Are you ready?
President's Edition. Zachary Taylor versus Millard Fillmore.
No, the Outworld version is like Mallard Fillmore. He's like an evil duck. All right, next.
He has a pig head.
All right, we separate, right? Oh, well, first there's a big Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. Let's talk about that. That was fun.
Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. Oh, yes. Okay, only good part of the movie.
Wait, what happens is they all separate into teams of two in the Velosphere, and Liu Kang goes with Katana. They instantly come across the black robot Smoke, and they fight him. Sub-Zero helps them, but then Scorpion shows up, and he says, "Get over here!" right away, you want him to.
Awesome.
And then at the very end, he kidnaps Katana, and in possibly my favorite moment of the movie, goes, "Suckers!"
It's great. I love it. That's the only part of the movie I liked. Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. Good stuff.
Okay, so then Sonya goes to the desert. So Sonya said goodbye to Jax in the previous movie at the waterfront.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the last time we've seen Jax.
Now he's...
But somehow she knows to find him at some weird, like,
Chernobyl
government weapon facility in the desert. And nobody else is there but Jax.
And why is he doing to himself what he's doing?
I don't know. He seems like just a police officer.
Yeah, is he just fooling around? Is he like RoboCopping it up? Is because the world is merging.
I mean, how much fucking money did this procedure cost?
And where were the people that did it? He's in there alone.
Wait, maybe they work for the government, like in Black Ops, and like.
Now, do you mean African American ops or do you mean Black Ops?
Good one. And he, maybe he's like volunteering himself, sort of like people are doing now for vaccine testing.
He could be, and there was another totally nebulous part of the movie where we keep seeing glimpses of Earth, where the Golden Gate Bridge.
I loved it.
But so
there's an incredible close-up of the Twin Towers rising into Outworld that you'll be loving every second of.
I knew that was coming up on the show. It's been too long, Dan. It's been too long.
Never forget.
No. But but I'm thinking if maybe if Jax got a glimpse of the world as it was becoming because of these events, maybe he figures, oh shit, maybe I better like alter myself to. But then he doesn't seem to have a clue what Sonya Blade is talking.
What, he was able to do that? This happened earlier today. Like, he's able to do that at a moment's notice, just go to a government facility and get metal arms?
If he's in Black Ops,
So, meanwhile, Sonya helps him out of his containment unit or whatever, and he breaks the chains so he knows how strong the arms are, and he goes, "Now that's what I'm talking about." Every one of his lines is like that.
I did not care for that.
I loved it.
At all.
Listen, I understand that this character is an awful black stereotype, but I also kind of think it's the most lively performance in the movie.
What happened then?
It's a lot of that. And so then all of a sudden Cyrax shows up. Cyrax is a yellow robot And no, he's not a cowardly robot.
Okay, all right. I was gonna ask.
No,
Yeah.
he's
Not Bumblebee. He's Bumblebee.
he's kind of looks like Bumblebee, but he has
Bumblebee.
dreadlocks.
Bumblebee.
So
Slap in the face.
So Cyrax fights them. He like throws a grenade or whatever, but Jax manages to beat him up. At which point he says, "Yeah, now what?" And then a little dragon. He has a little dragon tattoo, and that pops off.
What the fuck was going on? All this, when that shit happened, I was like, am I in the fucking Harry Potter franchise?
It's so crazy. Like, there's so much in this movie.
I expected Dobby to roll in and be like, hello, I'm here to help you form the worlds together in search of Kano, me older brother.
They should have tried giving Shao Kahn a sock. Maybe it'll work.
Give me Dobby. I love Dobby.
I know you do. Okay, then we get a little round table of villains. Like, it's sort of just Shao Kahn checking in with his villains. Meanwhile, Shao Kahn, we didn't even talk about it. He's the main villain of this movie, played by the great Brian Thompson, who is the main villain in Cobra.
In Stallone's Cobra?
That's right, baby. He's like the night slasher.
I got to see fucking Cobra, man. It's what am I waiting for?
He talks like this. Give me more. He was also in the first season of Buffy the same year.
Okay.
He played a vampire named Luke. He worked for the Master in the first 2 episodes.
So every time you mention Buffy from now on, here on out, I get to talk about the presidents for a little bit.
Only if you're talking about the presidents of the United States of America, one of my favorite bands.
Or you have to mention of a president in a Buffy episode.
I might be able to pull that off.
You can.
Okay. Yeah. What happens next? So at that round table, that's when we're introduced to Motaro and Shiva and Rain. The red one and the purple one.
Yeah, okay.
Because the purple one, Rain, says that he's already taken out 2 of Earth's best warriors, Cabal and Stryker, both of which I guess are characters from Mortal Kombat that they did not deem important enough to actually see in the movies.
I thought it was William Stryker from X-Men that they took out.
No, Stryker was a weird character. He was like a cop, and he like pulled out a gun during fights.
And doesn't Brian Thompson just kill Rain right away? He just kills him.
Oh, that's right. In that scene, yeah, he takes him out.
Remember this purple guy because he's fucking dispatched pretty quick.
All right. So meanwhile, Liu Kang he goes on a vision quest with Nightwolf, and Nightwolf shows up as a wolf, and then turns into a human, and then helpfully tells Liu that was his animality.
His animality. They say the word animality.
Do you remember animalities?
I've never heard the word used more in any context, if it even is a word, in my life.
It's from the games. This was another thing. After fatalities were so popular, they started adding things like that for like when the finish him happens. So I already mentioned friendships. And also everyone had an animality where they would turn into an animal. And Liu Kang's was a giant dragon who he'd become and eat your head off. And that's why he turns into a dragon later in the movie.
I like that the only Native American character in the movie, of course, is a wolf.
Well, that's from the games too, bro. Nightwolf is a video game character.
Thank you, Ed Boon.
He's the creator of the games. Nice.
Yeah, it was a boon for him to be part of this movie.
So then Jade shows up. Jade offers Liu Kang free sex in the snow. But Liu... Also, where are they? I feel like they're in the desert with Nightwolf, but then it starts snowing.
They were in the same area in Kill Bill Volume 1 when Lucy Liu gets slightly decapitated.
Oh, then I was really missing that little water filter device.
Well, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay. But then Jade teams up with him, and they like fight somebody, and then they go off together, and we don't know whether to trust her or not. Turns out we can't.
Yeah, and I did.
Dumbass.
I do that a lot. Yeah.
Meanwhile, he tells Jade that he can't have sex with her because, like, he is in love with somebody. His heart belongs to someone else. He's known Katana for, like, 3 days. They've never had an actual conversation. He has no idea whether they're, like, into each other.
Well, it's one of those things where it's to Lisa Soto, and he doesn't want to blow it.
Yeah, but Liu Kang thinks he has a shot with this, like, 10,000-year-old, like,
Of course he does.
supermodel.
At the end of the first movie, they're together. They're walking hand in hand. Oh, you doubt the true love aspect of the Mortal Kombat franchise.
All right, Sonya fights Melina. She's the purple lady.
That's great
Size.
stuff. It's a very exciting movie, guys.
Then the demon statue turns into CGI. And Jax beats it, I think.
All right.
Around this time, Raiden talks to the Elder Gods and kneels in a Mortal Kombat logo and asks for guidance. And apparently they tell him, get a makeover. And he does that.
They go tell him to kick rocks. They got nothing to tell him. And, it's at this point when they start saying elder gods, I know I'm bored in a movie because all I started thinking of was Cabin in the Woods.
I was just blown away. Like, there was, like, wind. The depictions of the gods are so weird. The water one, what is this? CGI water? It looks like trash. And
Nothing.
It's so bad looking. The air one is just like visible wind.
Yeah, well, they were just like, well, it's air, so we can just shoot the sky.
But then it turns out that air god is like this dude Shinnok or something, who's like related. He's Raiden's dad.
I don't know. They were better depiction of the elements in fucking Frozen than in this movie.
Well,
I mean, really,
yeah,
more
I agree.
believable.
That's. I mean, you're saying that like it's a shot at Frozen, but it's like that's like a huge Walt Disney Pictures production, and this is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Of course,
it's a kids movie, and they're deeper depictions of these things.
Of course, it is.
Cabin in the Woods had better elder gods. And all they showed was
you're naming popular good movies.
So depictions of fire and water shouldn't be that hard to pull off.
All right. Anyway, Baraka shows up looking like shit. That
was a good movie, Baraka.
Yeah, sure. At one point, Shao Kahn mentally instructs a CGI beast to eat Jade, which it does, and then belches, which I really enjoyed.
He comes out of the wall. Yeah.
At the end of the movie, Jax takes off those arm things, and I'm like, those come off?
I know. I thought they were like replaced his arms or something. I mean, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, the fight at the end goes on forever, and Liu and Shao Kahn both turn into their animalities and fight each other, and it's like this big Ray Harryhausen battle. And then Liu wins, and Shao Kahn just turns into like a glob. I didn't know why.
It's all true, though. It's all true. That is what happens. Yeah. And
another dragon jumps out.
A lot of dragons going on here. Long story short, Robin Shue signed a 3-picture deal, didn't get that 3rd picture.
Yeah. And yeah, that's basically the end of the movie, right? It's a total reset button ending, which annoys the shit out of me. Like, it's just, they find themselves back at the end of the first one, except now Sindel's there and is like a good mom to Katana again.
Which didn't make sense either, because we established already in the movie by its own logic that she was a good woman turned bad and not under the hypnosis of anybody. And
that backstory is alluded to so much, and it's like, what was that like? Her being Katana's mom?
I don't know. It's too I don't know. It's totally nebulous stuff. Yeah, second time I used that word.
All right, Raiden becomes the new air god, and that's the end of the movie. Great film. I give it a 2.
That's the most enthusiastic, long-winded review of a 2-star movie I've ever heard you give. It's a piece of shit. It's 1.
Call. It's fun though. You didn't have fun watching this?
It was yeah. It wasn't painful. I almost thought about a 2, but when I really think about it, man, it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of time, dude. The first
disagree.
One's so fucking awesome, and this movie's just such a letdown. I thought at least I'd be at a 3.
I feel like you could put this movie on at a party without the sound on, and it would be a huge hit because it's just a procession of Mortal Kombat characters doing their special moves.
But but here's where I disagree, and I think this is one of the reasons also I go 1 instead of 2. There isn't enough Mortal Kombat in it.
No. But
most of the movie is them wandering around and traveling to places.
That's not true, though, because no matter where they go, some Mortal Kombat character shows up and fights them. Like, they're not in a tournament, of course.
Right. Then that's a big problem.
No, that is a problem. I agree. Yeah. But you still get a lot of fights, and they really... All the fights in the movie, it's just their special moves from the games. Oh, like, they do each one once.
Maybe if I had maybe if I had played the game like you would, I'd be a little more generous. But I don't want to. I'd kind of be lying if no, it wasn't painful and torturous like a Children of the Corn movie at all. But it's kind of
shout
a
out to Kyle Padavano. Padavano's paying for a new one, so get ready.
I'm glad he's still listening.
Yeah, he's still a patron.
Good guy.
Yeah.
All right.
He's not weak like Elvis King.
Flawless execution, Kyle.
Flawless victory, my friend. So, what a great franchise. I hope they make more. There's some cartoons. There's, Mortal Kombat will always exist.
It did make me want to play the game.
Yeah, totally.
Hardcore.
No.
Really?
Shout out to Josh Leamer for picking this, and he's getting another one next week just because I love him so much.
Yeah, everyone he did pay, so don't worry. He did.
But you're supposed to pay for each franchise, and I let him have 2 for $50 because listen, I'll say it right now: if you bring the goods like Josh Leamer did, wait till you see what he's got for next week. I'll let you do that. All right? But I'm willing to say no. And I'm indiscriminatory about it.
No, he really is, and he also doesn't not consult me before making these massive decisions. So that's what
listen. This was the kind of case where Josh Leamer brought this suggestion to me, and it was an offer I couldn't refuse.
I understand, Don Corleone.
That's right.
I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Well, who's your MVP, LVP again?
Remar is my MVP, but a special mention to Jax, who I think is really good. And he was an American Gladiator, I believe.
Okay.
And who is your LVP, Henry?
My MVP is Katana. My LVP is Sindel.
Sindel, right. I guess that makes sense. Wait, I had an LVP.
Never be my daughter. I was never your mother. Come on. It's really bad.
I'm going to give my LVP, of course, to Nightwolf. Well, look, I could go with Sonya, who's real bad. I could go with Shiva, who's really bad. But I'll go with Nightwolf just because I looked up the actor and it said that he is the first Native American rap artist. And so I'm going to go ahead and make him my LVP.
Sounds like an MVP to me. All right. Fair enough. All right, we got to wrap up here. What do we got? We don't have any reviews this week, but we do have a massive thing that happened. We got to talk about it.
Yeah. Do you have the URL?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
you folks, yeah.
So I'm so sorry to all of the listeners who are jockeying for position on the top 5 because Olivia is now our best patron. All right. I'm sorry. She's making the rest of you look like scrubs because she designed a franchise website, all right? It's got an episode guide with all of our ratings. It's got links to social media and Letterboxd and the show, of course, and the Patreon. And
the Instagram, everything.
It's incredible. It really, there's a lot on there, and I think there's more that you could do. Guys, pitch in. Give Olivia some information. What episodes feature the first appearances of different bits and segments? What episodes have which theme songs? Okay.
Yeah.
Get
she did
these
the heavy
going.
lifting.
All right.
She gave a special shout out on the website to Space Cadet Juan.
Well, he provided the ratings. Yeah, and
which was big.
Yeah. So I think we've got to say he's number 2.
He's big,
tied with Josh
big.
Leamer.
He's big, and the rest of you know who you are. I have a lot of emails from people recently jockeying for that top 5 status, and they're all on it. They're all in it, you know. But yeah, she did this thing where you can look at our movies, but Dan separately and me separately, the 5-star ones, the 4, 3, 2, 1, everything we've ever done that way. You can separate every movie we've ever done by genre
and by year. And it includes the ratings of our guests. If we had a guest, it's great.
It's really amazing.
It's really
and
cool.
Moving. And Olivia, you are a gem and one of a kind.
What's that URL?
Thefranchisepod.wix site. That's WIXSITE.com.
Okay.
Then a /podcast. I don't know if you have to add all that.
I interrupted you when you were saying nice things about Olivia. Go ahead.
No, I just said she's a gem and she's one of a kind, and she did this totally unbeknownst, it should be mentioned, to Dan and I. She just sent us an email.
Just fucking dropped it into our emails, blowing our minds.
Amazing. I still haven't even really. It's very overwhelming because there's so much content, and it was just a wonderful thing. It was like the culmination of a lot of years of
culmination.
Gary Coleman. Yeah, and it was just it's just mind blowing. So anyway, let me say that again. It's thefranchisepod.wixsite.com. Thefranchisepod.wixsite.com.
Wixsite. Yeah, I think you can also get to it the Wix app, right?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can download the Wix app for free, and then you can find us on that. Like I said, at the end of Wixsite.com, I don't know. Do you have to add /podcast?
I don't fucking know.
I did.
They'll find it.
You'll find it, but it's great, guys. And like Dan said, is that we haven't really spoken that much about it in person or at all. Can people add things to it, or do they just need to
I don't know, but yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure
I
about
feel
that.
like some of you other fucks should step up and do your own research on the podcast and inform Olivia of your findings.
Yeah, but it's okay, guys. It's
Listen,
all right.
I will say shout out to Madison, who said she was going to come up with a website, but then got pregnant with twins. So we'll give her a pass.
Viable excuse. That's a viable excuse. No, this was really amazing, and really, honestly, guys, we're not knocking you. You guys will love it. You guys are going to.
It's really cool. It's and I've noticed for the first time how many typos there are in my episode descriptions.
I never really noticed.
Me neither. It's upsetting.
Well, whatever. You're usually posting these up late. You're tired. I get it.
Yeah, it's true. All right, HP. Let's wrap up. What a fucking fun show this was. Mortal Kombat, the best. Just the fucking best. Mortal Kombat, if I may say, rules.